Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on this makeup look that I have on right now. It is a very fall appropriate look. It just makes me think of like turning leaves. A lot of the products that I'm using in today's video is from Sigma Beauty because Sigma's actually sponsoring this video, which I am so excited about because I've been using Sigma for years. They're one of the first brushes that I ever purchased. So thank you so much to Sigma for sponsoring and collaborating with me on today's video. I'm so excited about it. So I hope you guys are too. Please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when I upload my next tutorial, and let's get started. Okay, so to start this look off, I'm gonna use the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I haven't used this in a little while, so I thought that I would use this today. I get more oily throughout the day, so this definitely helps with that. It gives me a nice smooth surface for everything else to go on top of. Whew, it feels really good. So the first thing I'm going to be using is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm going to be trying a new shade though. This is in the shade Vanilla. I haven't tried this shade before. I usually do Porcelain or Nude, but we're going to try this one today. So I'm going to shake it up. And to apply it, I'm going to be using an old school brush. If you've been watching me since the beginning, this was always what I used to apply my foundation. So this is the Sigma F80 flat kabuki brush. I can't wait to use this because I haven't used it in so long. So, oh, that's yellow. We are not gonna do that color. I'm gonna grab the Porcelain shade. It's a little bit lighter and it has more pink in it. That was like straight up yellowy orange. Still yellow, but it should do. Okay, so I'm just going to stipple it in like this. This is actually gonna be giving me a fuller coverage than when I use a sponge. Oh my gosh, I miss using brushes. It's been so long. And once I've got it like all blended in, I like to very, very lightly smooth over everything. Okay, and then underneath my eyes, I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I have both the light neutral and the light shade just because I think I'm like right in between. We'll see. So I'm gonna put that under the eyes. And then just a little dab of this. And then to blend that in, I really want to try this one. This is the Bake Precision brush, P89. It looks very cool. It's like slanted here and really soft, so I want to try that under the eyes. I'm just kind of pushing this in to the skin. And then once it's pushed in, I'm going to do little dragging motions just to blend it out. This is definitely giving more of a fuller coverage. If you are going for that, totally use brushes. I've been using a sponge for so long that I totally like forgot what it's like. Okay, I'm gonna use the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Contour and Highlight palette here, and I'm gonna use this shade right here to set my under eye area. This has been like my go-to palette recently. I love all of the contour shades. I love this highlight shade right here. I find that it's more yellow, so I feel like this highlights just a little bit without going too overboard, because I think can definitely happen sometimes, and it's just a little bit more natural for me. And to do that, I use the Sigma F35 brush, which is one of my favorite brushes, and I always use it for that step. So now, what are we gonna do? So now I'm gonna set my face with the Bare Minerals Matte Foundation. This is in the shade Fairly Light. I'm only gonna go in with a little bit just because I do have a full coverage right now and I don't need much more coverage. I just want this set in place. So I've only sprinkled just a little bit in the cap, and I'm gonna go in with the Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki brush, the F79. It's a little bit more dense than I normally would go for, but I'm excited to try it out with this. So I'm gonna buff it here in the cap and just run this over the face. Very nice. Okay, for bronzer, I'm gonna use my favorite bronzer ever. This is the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess bronzer, and I'm in the shade medium. I mean, technically, I probably should be using the light shade, but I like to look really bronzed. And I'm gonna try out the Sigma Duo Fiber brush. This is the F50. And this is the largest one that was in the kit that I have here. Use a little bit of this, tap off the excess, and apply it on my face. So I'm gonna go back into the Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette, and what I like to do is mix together these 3 shades. Depending on my shade, which right now I'm pretty fair, that depends on what shade I use mostly. So I'm mostly going to be using Princess Cut and Angle just because those are the lighter ones. And the brush that I'm going to be trying today is the Extreme Structure Contour, the F04. I have tried this one before, which is the small contour brush, the F05, but I want to try something new today, so I'm going to use this one. I'm going to pop it here, right in the contour area, following the line of the top of the ear to the corner of the mouth and not extending past my pupil of my eye. I'm doing back and forth motions and little circles at the same time. And then once I've got it on there, I'm gonna kind of like push it upwards into the cheek. I do have a contour and highlight video if you're curious. I'll link it right up here along with some other contour and highlight tutorials that are in there. Now to apply my highlight, I want to try a new brush because I always use my Sigma F35. But today I want to try the F03. This is the High Cheekbone Highlighter. It looks like, it's just like a little bit of a different shape. This is compared to the F35. So it's just a little bit different. We'll see how this goes. So I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. And I'll just be using the highlighter here. I'm going to pop this right here on the top of the cheekbone. Very pretty. I'm also gonna get it right here down the center of the nose and the Cupid's bow. For blush, I'm gonna be using the Sigma Aura powder. I'm gonna use the Sigma Aura powder in Corderosa. This looks like a really beautiful, kind of like a rosy peach shade, and I wanna use it with the Sigma Small Duo Fiber brush. This is the F55. It is a little bit smaller than the one that I used for bronzer. Can see what those look like here. Just going to apply that here on the cheeks. Oh, that's so pretty. That's a really nice color. And I always love applying my highlight first because then it kind of like peeks through the blush instead of like if I did my blush first and then highlighted, I ended up getting like this stripe of highlight for some reason. So I always love putting on the highlight first because then it just like peeks through that blush and it looks a lot more natural. And for some reason, I always apply my blush up here on the forehead, nose, and chin. Look how cute you are. You're a little stinky doggy. You need a little bath. Yes, you need a little bath. Okay, so moving on to the eyes, they are already prepped and primed. I'm gonna be going in with the Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2 palette. This has a lot of very beautiful shades in here. I couldn't decide what look I wanted to do, but I think what I'm gonna do is focus more around this like greenish gold color and this cranberry and make it very fall appropriate, which I'm really excited about. So I'm first gonna go into my F35 brush from Sigma. This is the tapered blending brush, and I'm gonna take the color Toasty, which is the shade right here. I'm gonna bring it here in the crease, and I'm holding towards the center part of the brush. I'm not going too far up on the ferrule because you don't want to apply too much of the color at once. So when I tap in, I tap off the excess, hold here, and lightly add the color in the crease. I'm also gonna pick that up, look up into my mirror, and drag that down here on the bottom. Then I'm gonna go into a clean E40 brush. This is a little bit bigger than the E35, so it's going to kind of just like dust this out a little bit more, help blend it and diffuse the color. Then I'm switching to an E25, and I will compare that to the other two brushes as well. It's just a little bit smaller, a little bit more dense. As you can see, the bigger and fluffier the brush, the lighter the color you're gonna wanna use. So this one is definitely more dense than this one and this one. So I'm gonna go into the E25. I think I'm gonna go into Henna first. I do wanna use this like red shade here, but I'm gonna go into Henna just to slowly deepen this up, and then I'll add that one later. So I'm gonna add this right here to the outer corner and into the crease. Just kind of pushing it on there, and then once I've got it pushed on there real good and a lot of the product is off, then I go in and I kind of flick it inwards like this and into the crease as well. Now I'm gonna switch to a Sigma E34. This is one of those like domed shaped pencil brushes, and I'm gonna grab the Rogue shade, which is that cranberry kind of color. And I'm gonna pop this right here in the outer corner just by pushing. And I'm also going to smudge it here into the crease because I really want this crease to be reddish. And then I'm gonna pick up that henna shade and lightly go over that and blend it out. And now I'm switching to the Firm Blender E44 brush. This is going to help blend this a little bit more. It's a little bit softer. So I don't have anything on my brush. It's completely clean. I'm just kind of blending out the edges. With that E44 brush I was using, I'm gonna grab the Passion Fruit shade, which I think it's really going to work really nicely with the Rogue shade. So I'm gonna pop that here, right in the crease. Gonna add a little bit of like pinky mauveness to the look. I think that looks really, really pretty. And that really helped blend out that Rogue shade. I want to pick up the After Hours shade. This is this like matte brownish green, and put it right here in the outer corner, kind of layering it right over the Rogue shade here. But I don't want this to really go up into the crease. I just want it to deepen up this outer corner. I'm gonna grab the E32 brush. It's a flat shader brush, and I'm gonna use the Humble shade right here, and I might mix it with a little bit of Beaming, which is that shade. It's a little shimmery. I'm not sure yet till I put it on. So I'm gonna first start with Humble and pop that right on the brow bone. Touch into the Beaming. Yes, I will be mixing it with the Beaming. Sometimes you just don't know till you do it. So I'm gonna use this E56 brush, and I'm gonna use this to pack color onto the lids. And the color I'm gonna be using is the Fool's Gold, which is this like greenish gold color here. I'm gonna spray it with Fix Plus, just intensifies the color. I'm gonna look down into my mirror here and just place this here on the lid. And I'm not swiping, I'm just pressing this in because this is a more glittery shade. And I think I'm also gonna grab a little bit of this Russet shade here on that same E56 brush. I'm just gonna use it on the other side and layer this on the outer corner. So now underneath my eyes, I'm gonna use one of my favorite brushes. This is the Sigma E15. I use this, don't mind all this, but I use this in pretty much every makeup look. I think I'm gonna bring the After Hours shade down there first because this is really pretty and it's really green, but it's also really reddish purple, and I want to make the green more of the focus. So I'm gonna bring that color on the bottom lash line. So I'm gonna bring my mirror up above and look up into it so I can access this area and just smudge this underneath right at the lashes. I'm gonna go back into that E34 like domed pencil brush, and I'm gonna use the Toasty shade, the like light tan, and use that to blend out this green on the bottom. So when I sat down to do this look, this is what I pictured in my mind, but this Bittersweet shade is really like speaking to me right now. So I'm gonna use the Sigma LO4 brush, which this is a detailed lip brush it says, but I'm gonna use it on my eyes. It's just one of these really tiny brushes. I feel like little teeny tiny brushes like this are so underrated, but everybody needs teeny tiny brushes because they will help you in so many makeup looks when you need just like a little bit of tweaking or a little spot here and there, and they make such a big difference. So I'm gonna bring this right now. I'm not putting this on the inner corner, I'm putting it on the very inner part of the lid, kind of bring like a goldness right to that inner lid area. Not much though, because I don't want it to take away from the green. I just want like a little warmth. And now I'm actually gonna, we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna pop this on the inner corner, and I'm gonna layer that Beaming shade on top of it. Yes. Oh, I think that's so pretty. I've never done anything like this, I don't think. It just reminds me of like leaves changing, and it's still fall. So now in my waterline, I'm gonna use the Rimmel Nude Scandalized liner. This is my favorite liner ever. I look up into my mirror and pop this in on the waterline. And this is really, whew, really gonna open up the eyes. So I'm quickly just applying some mascara as a base for my lashes to go on top of. This is the MAC Giga Black Lash. And then for lashes, I'm gonna go into these from Velour Lashes. They're in the style Girl You Crazy. They are very fluffy and full, but wispy at the same time and just beautiful. Going in with some mascara to balance out the bottom lashes with the top. I feel like this also really helps enhance and open up the eyes. Okay, moving on to the lips. I'm first gonna go into the Boldly Bare lip pencil from MAC. This is a really pretty, kind of like a darker nude for my skin tone. So I'm quickly just going to line and overline my lips a little bit. Okay, and then over top of that, I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia lipstick in the color Peachy. It's kind of like a burnt orangey nude. So I'm just gonna top this with this lipstick. So this is the final look up close and personal. I am so happy with how it turned out, and I hope that you guys are too, and I hope you enjoyed seeing my tips and tricks. A huge thank you to Sigma for sponsoring and collaborating with me on today's video. I had so much fun using some of my old favorites that I haven't used in a while, and also trying out some new things as well. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you later.